the nail gardener, servicing your mind, body, and soul.
Hey guys, coming to you real quick with a video. This is just prep before the application of Polygel. Before the camera, I got it working. I did apply alcohol to soften the cuticles. Then I went in and pushed the cuticles back. I also, after that, went in with a cuticle bit to get rid of the excess growth of that eponychium. And now I'm going in with a sanding band. During this process, I did also trim and shape the client's nails down to the length that she wanted. Excuse me. After sanding, after doing anything that produces dust, really, you go in with your dust brush. That's what I've done here. What I'm going to do here, go in with the dust brush, dust off any excess. You're going to spray with your alcohol, which also acts as a dehydrator. Make sure you're using alcohol regularly throughout this process. That is the key to Polygel, is the alcohol. After that, I'm going to apply the dehydrator and the primer. And I do not use a base coat, unlike most Polygel nail techs. I've troubleshooted 1,000,001 different ways, and the best way to have long-lasting nails is to get a good dehydrator and a good primer. For clients with more oily nail beds, you can also use the Young Nails Pro Bond, and I also like to use full coverage tips. You do not apply them straight to the nail. They last like no other. Directly to the cuticle. The full coverage tip needs to be flushed with the nail, and then the Polygel application needs to be flushed with the cuticle. That's one thing to remember when using full coverage tips for your clients. There is no difference. The prep for Polygel should look very similar, if not exactly the same as acrylic application. You need to make sure that you're pushing those cuticles back, roughening the surface of the nail, getting that dehydrator and primer in there. And as I said, if you have a client with more oily cuticles, make sure you're using something extra like Young Nails Pro Bond. You're using full coverage tips that don't go all the way to the cuticle. You apply them the same as you would a typical nail tip, just not on the edge of the nail. You need to leave like a couple millimeters of space so that it's the Polygel that is the very base of the nail. This client in particular is getting an overlay, so I won't be applying any tips. I'm just doing the typical prep, and then I will apply the Polygel directly to her nail before shaping and buffing. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Look out for the next video.